Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Stars Listen. Today we are going to take a look at this Drake Cutlass Steel. Cutlass Steel is a dropship variant among the Cutlass series of ships, so before I talk more about it, let's get to it first. At the front you can see there's a cockpit which is very identical to the other Cutlass series of ships except for the Cutlass Blue. At the wing you can see a size 3 fixed laser repeaters. Originally, if you obtain this ship, no matter you're using real cash or using in-game credits to buy this ship, it comes up with 4 gimbal size 2 weapons, but since I want more firepower, so I changed them into size 3 fixed weapons. Up there you can see there's a turret which houses 2 size 3 laser repeaters, and that turret is identical to the other color series of ships except for the colors red. Over here you got a door. This door you can see on board of the Cutlass Black, but these 2 Gatling guns are special to the Cutlass Steel because these are the ballistic Gatling guns, and I don't know whether I should call them size 1 or size 0s. You got unlimited ammo, and for your infantry on board of your ship to use them to shoot all the enemy around your ship. But currently, I don't know, it's not very useful. So, well, unless you got a bad day, maybe you got a bad day, like you will want to use these guns, maybe, to shoot wherever you wanted. At the back, you got a remote turret which houses 2 size 2 laser repeaters. This is very special for the Steel, the Cutlass Steel, because it's the only ship among the Cutlass series of ships got a remote turret at the back. And the ramp itself is the only way, in theory, to get inside of the ship. Because in a normal gravity like this, you can't really jump high. So, well, yeah. But of course, when you're talking about like get out of a ship, you got 2 side doors and this ramp, which is very nice. The right hand side of the ship is the same as the left hand side of the ship. And let's get inside of it. Unlike in 3.14, you don't need to press any buttons up there, but instead you need to press the button down here in order to open up the door, the ramp. And once the ramp is deployed, you can see the panel itself got a little bit different comparing to the other color series of ships. Because the other color series of ships, you got only 1 button for you to close and open the ramp, but in here you can press deploy, which can deploy this Gatling gun at the back. So in the other videos of mine, I showed that how to use this Gatling gun, or you can see how I use the Gatling gun. But technically now when you're using this gun, it looks like you need to use your sixth sense or your feeling kind of to see what kind of thing you're aiming at. But technically, if you press your right mouse button, you can see a scope here, which increase your accuracy, or because you can see where you're aiming, which is very nice. As you can see, it's unlimited ammo, so yeah, it's very nice to kind of, if you got a bad day, really, you can use these guns to shoot it whatever you wanted. You can see there are 18 seats in total in here, and these 6 seats, well, technically in the Cutlass Black you also got 6 seats, but these jump seats are special for drop ships. Yeah, so well, you got 18 of them. It means that you can house a whole entire server of people currently on a ship that got a single size 2 shield, which is very good. Here, it's same as a Cutlass Black. You can press the button to open the door, and press the deploy button, and just like the Gatling gun at the back. I hope that is not true, because for some reasons you can aim at engine, which is very bad if you shoot it off accidentally. So I hope that it's just simply the design problem instead of like the real thing happening. Alright, so since these seats are blocking the way on board of the ship, so it means that you can't really put any kind of vehicles on board, and you don't have cargo spaces as well, which is not ideal as if you're comparing to the Cutlass Black. But hey, you can house 18 people on board, the whole server on board, why not anyway. So let's come to here, which is a crew quarter. These are the lockers. You can access to your ship inventory via these lockers. But since you can simply press I in order to access it, so there's no way for you to use these lockers to do that. Maybe for the future, however. You got some gun racks, as same as what I said about the locker back there. You just simply press I, you can house all of your weaponries on board, so no need to use these gun racks. You got 2 beds for you to lock out and lock back in, although I'm not suggesting people to use them, because sometimes you may find out after you use them to lock out, and when you lock back in, you may find out that you are outside of the ship instead of inside of it, which is not very nice. Over here is the way for you to access to the upper turret, which houses 2 size 3 laser repeaters. And this turret can protect the upper part of your ship. But when the enemy like flies at the belly side, under your ship, then technically this turret is useless. Now let's come to here. This is the co-pilot seat. Although you got a joystick in here, but doesn't mean that you can fly this ship for the pilot, so just give up. Alright, the only thing, not the only thing, the thing that the co-pilots can do is to help the pilot to shoot missiles, to change the power output, communicate with the others, and very special for the Steel, which is a remote turret at the back, which can defend the straight backward of your ship, as well as a little bit underneath your ship. Or you can use them to mow down all the enemy around your ship as well. Now let's go to the pilot seat. Same as the other color series of ships, I think, except, or not really except, but anyway, yeah, you got a lot of panels right in your face, so, well, you got a hard time to look, observe anything surrounding you if you talk about like doing bounty missions. But if you're accurate enough by using these 4 fixed size 3 weapons, you should be able to deal with like the target that's agile, is more agile than you. You got 16 missiles on board. 8 of them would be size 3, 8 of them would be size 2. So let's talk about the ship itself. Well, as I said, this ship, comparing to the Cutlass Black, you don't have cargo capacity, you don't have space for you to house any kind of ground vehicle. It turns out this ship at the current state is not as good as the Cutlass Black. And of course, if you talk about the bounty missions, however, if you talk about fighting, it's so similar to the Cutlass Black, however. Yes, which is, in space, you need to, when you're doing bounty missions, you need to burn a lot of fuel. Yes, that's true. In space, it might be better, but if you talk about doing bounty missions, inside of the atmosphere, all the Cutlass Black, all the Cutlass series of ships will got the same problem. It means that they all are bad to, if you talk about like the way they fly in the atmosphere, you can't really turn around, okay, as easily, as easy as the other fighters. So if I were you, I won't suggest people to do any kind of bounty inside the atmosphere, or you can just lure the NPCs towards the space, which is not the case in 317, to deal with them. So, well, yeah, try not to do any kind of bounty missions with this ship, inside of the atmosphere. So, this ship in-game, it costs you around 1.3 to 1.4 million, which is very similar to the Cutlass Black. But as I said, at the current state, it's not as useful as the Cutlass Black, because the Cutlass Black you can put a ground vehicle, especially for the mining vehicle, the rock, on board of the Cutlass Black. Meanwhile, the Cutlass Steel is not possible to house such a ground vehicles on board, and you don't have the cargo capacity. So it turns out this ship is not as useful as the Cutlass Black. And for the current state, the NPC cannot really go on board of your ship, as well as the other players will not go on board of your ship as well, since they got their own ship after all. And housing 18 people or more people on board of a ship with a size 2 shield is not a very brilliant idea, because once you sneeze or something like that, accident happen, then the ship goes down, the whole server will be down as well, or half of it would be down as well. So it's not very ideal. So, well, I would say that if you ask me whether I will purchase this ship in the future or not, I would say not until the NPC can get on board of your ship. Yep. But it's very rare for me to say it. I will not recommend people to use real cash to buy this ship. Really will not. The main reason behind is because it shares the same value as the Cutlass Black in-game, because both of them costing 1.3 to 1.4 million. But the truth is, if you talk about the real cash price, this ship is costing you about $235 for standalone price and $210 for the Warborn price. But when you talk about the Cutlass Black with real cash, it will be $100 only. So here comes the argument why this ship needs to be that kind of expensive with real cash. Meanwhile, in-game it costs similar to the Cutlass Black, which is only cost $100 US dollars when you buy it with real cash. The only theory is because it's a drop ship, so the CIG doesn't want people to think this ship is quite cheap as a drop ship, so they try to set up a price as same as the other drop ships, or at least a fair price compared to the other drop ships, because the Prowler, which costs you $400 around, and the Valkyrie, which costs you $375, close to $400, and even for the cheapest price, not excluding the steel, would be the Hoplite, which costs around $235. So they set up the price point as $235, maybe this kind of reasons. But if you talk about how useful it would be in the current state in Star Citizen, it's not worthy. Yes, I will rather get a Cutlass Black with real cash instead of the Cutlass Steel. But in the future, probably this ship would be a little bit more useful, I would say, because in the future, especially starting from 317.2, you got some hostile NPC outdoor and Reclaimer Derelict. Yes, maybe some of you would know it already. So if that's the case, it means that the NPC outside of outdoor area would be easy to be mowed down by your ship if you use those Gatling guns. Especially those Gatling guns those positions probably would be protected by your ship's shield, the shield of your ship. Yeah, although not all of them, I would say. But anyway, that might be making this ship a little bit more useful comparing to the current state. But because of that, you want to use the real cash to buy it, I won't suggest it. I will not suggest it. Alright. Yeah, if you really want to experience with this ship, just buy in game, just like the Cutlass Black. Alright. So yeah, that is it for today's video about the Cutlass Steel. If you think this video is kind of helpful, feel free to leave a like. And if you think I missed out something with a video about with the Cutlass Steel, then feel free to leave a comment down below. So I shall see you guys next time then. Bye bye.